Now, I don't buy lottery tickets. I don't take part in the lotto. I think I did when it first came about, when it was something new. And quickly, like most other people, when I bought a ticket, I assumed I was going to win something, and then quickly realised that the odds were stacked against me. And after a few weeks of that not happening, I gave up. I don't want to play if I'm not going to win. But here's the thing. Most of us buy lotto tickets because we think it's a ticket to happiness. We all think that if we won lotto, we would be happy because we'd have everything within our means, right, to be happy. But what if we already did? For us in the developed world, most of us already have everything within our means. If we have enough money to have food, shelter, and we've got those around us to support and love us, and all of our basic needs are met, there's not a huge amount else that a lotto win would buy. Yeah, we'd probably get a nice car and nice holidays, but we know from the science behind lotto wins that that stuff quickly wears off, the novelty wears off, and we return to this set point in terms of our mood that we were at beforehand. And there's been some really interesting studies done, both from a lotto win perspective, so a positive shift, and then for those that have been injured in accidents, so paraplegics, so obviously in the opposite direction. And the interesting thing is, whilst one elevates our mood and one clearly doesn't, after a while we come back to that original set point. And it leads me to this conclusion that if you're not happy before you win lotto, you are not going to be happy after you win lotto either. It's not about the lotto win, right? It's not about the money. It's about the stuff we have before or after, regardless of what money can buy. And most of the stuff that we have, the stuff that makes us happy, isn't stuff money can buy. It is stuff like a roof over our head. It is stuff like the people around us being supported, living a life of meaning and purpose, appreciating what we have, and rather than collecting more things to gain happiness. And I reckon that's where we often go wrong as humans. We're so conditioned to think that happiness belongs on the next horizon, always chasing something, and when I get that, I'll be happy. Then when we get that, there's something else, there's a new horizon. So happiness is always something out in the distance, as opposed to something we create within. And this is what I talk about with calmony, right? This condition within, this state of being, that we have everything we need, everything is in its right place. We feel whole and connected to those things around us, including other people, ourselves, the present moment, and natural world. We live a life of meaning and purpose because we know who we are and we know what makes us tick. And that's a state of being, right? That is happening all the time, regardless of what's going on around us, regardless of whether there's a lotto win or not. That's the state of being. And that doesn't change. The external world changes, but this inner feeling, this calmony, doesn't change. It's our set point. So again, we might go up or down depending on what's happening, but we come back to this set point, this within. So it's less about how life looks, i.e. what we have, more about how life feels, what we appreciate. And I reckon in our modern world, it's not that we don't have the conditions for happiness. It's that we don't appreciate what we have, and that leads to unhappiness. So it's almost like if you don't appreciate it, you may as well not have it. And that applies to our jobs, the people around us, our loved ones, the roofs over our head, the car that we drive. We're so often wanting more, better, bigger. And yet if it wasn't there, we'd miss it. So I think appreciation is key to creating this condition, as well as a number of other things that I talk about in this space of calmony and what that means. But it's an inner condition. It's a state of being, not an external thing that we acquire or a pursuit and a chase that we must get to the destination of.